Hi guys, I'm back with another poorly edited YouTube video. Be excited. My name is Gloria. A few days ago, I uploaded a very short video about my adventures with social anxiety. I need a theme song for that one. I ended up buying like a very expensive notebook and I still have it. I am writing in it. Will I keep using it? It's up in the air. I have no idea. It did elicit a few conversations from friends, though, about how many notebooks we buy that we don't use. But I'm a little bit the same way with planners, but I do use them. I don't finish them, but I do use them. At least halfway. Sometimes halfway. Okay, like a third of the way. They're just really fun. You want to know, it's a different person that buys them than that uses them, that discards them, if that makes sense. Like, let me tell you about the Gloria who goes into Office Depot to find, or Office Max, to find a planner. She is just naive and young, starry-eyed. She has so many things will be different. She is going to get her shit together. And it'll have stickers. What is not to love about that? Anyway, planners die a very sad, lonely death. This video, I wanted to talk a little bit more about something else that I probably have in common with other women or other people. Probably women. I feel like a lot of women deal with this. Are you a martyr? I bet you are. Maybe not, but I bet you are. At least I am, okay? So if you're not, you're better than me. I don't know. But so this is what a martyr is. And this is how you know that you're a martyr. Have you ever said, no one helps me around this house. I do everything around here. And then they help you out and you're like, no, put those dishes down. You're going to put it into the dishwasher the wrong way. I'll do it. You're a martyr. Have you ever said like, gosh, I have no me time ever. I want to do it. I want some me time. Just need some time for by myself with no kids screaming in my ears. I don't want to be working. I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then somebody's like, oh, hey, babe, why don't you go and do something fun for yourself? And you're like, no, I can't. You're a martyr. You know how I know you're a martyr? Because I do that stuff. Maybe not the cleaning stuff because I don't care. But the cleaning stuff, if somebody wants to clean for me and they do it wrong, I don't care because it's done. I'm not that type of like, I know people are like, oh, I'm OCD at that point, which I should point out. Can we just, a little segue here? That's not OCD. It might be OCD. But most of the time when you're like, oh, I'm OCD because I'm neat, OCD is a little bit more complicated of a thing than that. That's like forgetting your keys once and saying like, oh, I got ADHD. You don't. You just forgot where your keys are. The difference between like ADHD and non-ADHD, and I'll tell you why, because I have self-diagnosed by ADHD. And okay, so I know a lot of people do self-diagnosing and all that stuff. And before you judge me, I know that I have ADHD. Like, I know. And if not, then it is ADHD-like. One, because my boys have been diagnosed. My 14-year-old and my 12-year-old have been diagnosed with ADHD. It's genetics. They got it from somewhere, right? And the other thing is, the more I research their conditions, the more I research what they're dealing with, the more I was like, oh my God. And then I stumbled on articles, girls with ADHD don't look like boys with ADHD. This is what they look like. And I swear to God, I read my whole entire childhood. My whole childhood was in these articles. Daydreamer. Read a lot in class while the teacher was talking. Just there was a lot of stuff in there, and it's more complicated than like she just forgot stuff. But I was trying to explain this to my fiance Tim, and so I was like, you know how like you walk into a room and you forget why you were there, you leave and you walk back in, you're like, wait, oh, I remember, and you come back in, you forget again, you leave, and he's like, yeah, I do that. Everybody must have ADHD if you do that. No. Mental health is a spectrum. Everybody has periods where they're a little bit depressed, like sad, right? You've had those days where you just can't get out of bed, something happened, you're just like, whatever. You're not necessarily depressed, right? Does that make sense? Like, we've all had moments where we're very anxious, like, oh no, what if something bad is happening? But we don't feel like that all the time. If you do feel like that all the time, you probably have severe anxiety or some sort of thing like that. Does that make, like obsessive compulsive disorder? We all think like, oh no, did I forget to turn off the stove? And you run in and you check one time. You don't have OCD. The person that does that 100 times, most likely that's different. Does that make sense? It's a spectrum. And that spectrum is what allows you to, well, not allows you to say, that spectrum is what gives you these diagnoses. So for me, where are your keys? Where are your keys right now? Yep, I'm talking to everybody, every one of you. Do you know where your keys are? I don't know where my keys are right now. I very literally could not tell you this or where my keys are. I will tell you 3 or 4 locations because I have where my keys are found. I don't have keys, like, I don't know where my keys are. I know where I'm probably will find my keys. That's what it is. Probably downstairs in the kitchen, on the dining room, on the countertop. If not there, then the other countertop. And if not there, my dresser. I don't see them on my dresser, so they're not there. They're down in the kitchen somewhere, probably. That's what it's like. And it's very bothersome. And as I get older, it's getting better, but I honestly need to go to a doctor, get that official assessment and be like, can you help me? Because I'm a hot mess. I know people think that I'm like really good at certain things. I'm not. I lose my train of thought a lot at work. It's another thing that I do. I'm really, really good at juggling multiple tasks. When people come in and they're like, hey, can you do this for me really quick? Sure. I will bounce from a task to another task and right back. People are like, great. She's so awesome. She's on top of all this shit. No, I'm not on top of stuff. You want to know what I did? Why I did it that quickly? Because if I don't do that extra favor that is not within my routine, I immediately forget about it. So I have to do it and then bounce back. Plus, it kind of appeases that part of my brain that needs to jump around a lot. Like, I can't do one task forever. I have to bounce, and I do a lot better in that sort of sense. And anyway, so I was explaining that to Tim, and he was like, that sounds really bothersome. Bruh, my life. Yes, it's bothersome. Sorry, I got interrupted by a child because, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so what are we talking about? We are talking about martyrs. Are you a martyr? I am a martyr. Because what I do is I do not take any moment that I can for myself. I feel guilty. I don't mean to. I don't realize I'm being a martyr when I'm being a martyr, if that makes sense. So, like, let's say that I'm just like super stressed out and you just see it on my face and Tim's like, hey, babe, go read a book or something. I don't take that out. Usually I argue with him like, no, I got to do this and I got to do that and the house is a mess and I got to da-da-da-da-da and I have to pay bills and I have to make sure that all this stuff happens and dinner's not ready yet and the baby's crying and let me try and get, our daughter up and going to the bathroom or whatever it is that I need to do. And he used to take the excuses, but thank God for that man. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've told him, he's following my directions. Like, I've told him, you need to force me to go, because if I don't, I will just continue to be angry. And then I will be upset that I didn't go out and do all this stuff. So I know that he feels like he's fighting me to help me, but it's just, sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I would do that. I don't know why a little bit. And we can talk about like society and culture and gender roles and all that other stuff and sexism within relationships, etc., etc., etc. But for within our relationship, we have found that he needs to kind of argue with me a little bit and push me out of the house, push me to do the stuff that I want to do that actually invigorates me and helps me kind of mentally reset. And then I'm a better partner, I'm a better mother, I'm just better all around. Right? Everybody wins. Win for everybody. But it's a little tricky. It's kind of hard work. And I have found that the more that I do it, the more that I just let go, the more that I take the book, take this, go to a coffee shop away from all the kids and just take an hour to myself. Every time I do that, the more that I do that, the easier it is for me to do that. And then I come back and I'm refreshed and I'm excited and I'm in a much better mood. And I think that work on ourselves. We need to work on ourselves. Work on yourself. And if you want to feel like this is homework, see if you can't, like, I have to stand up because my dog came over. If there's one thing that you can do, one thing that homework-wise that you can do, it's find that one thing that you like. If it's shopping, if it's just taking a bath. I will say I'm not a bath person. Not at all. But if it's Yeah, whatever it is that you need to do, and tell your partner, you need to fight me to, and it'll get easier. I think the other day, um, Tim said like, "Oh, go ahead and do that," and I almost said no, and then I was like, "You know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna go." And then he kind of laughed, I think, just based on how I had said it, and I was like, "What? I'm trying to take this out. You are always telling me take it. I don't take it, and you argue, and it's a little frustrating, I think, for him. It's more work, at least, for him. And now I take it. Don't laugh at me, because I'm sensitive. But anyway, so I did it, and then I felt better, and we all felt better. And I do the same thing for him. He's a bath person. I'm not a bath person. I draw it like when he's really, really just super frustrated, and I just see him worn out from work and the kids and the normal grind. And this pandemic kind of sucks. It sucks. It's still sucking. Sometimes we just get extra burnt out. And so I've drawn him a few baths because I know that just having a while in a bath with bath bombs and can't like the works, and just relaxing, doing nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is really nice. And yeah, if there's homework from this YouTube video, do one thing very nice for yourself this week. And make sure it's something that is you specifically. It cannot be hygiene. I know I said bath, but a bath is a little bit different. So it cannot be hygiene. It can't be like, oh, I took a shower today, so now I had me time. No, dig a little deeper. If it's a bath, go ahead. But if it's something more than that, do that. Don't go to the grocery store by yourself and say like, oh, wow, that felt like a vacation. It's not a vacation. Stop settling. Don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle for that sort of stuff. Hygiene is not a thing that should be self-care. Going to the grocery store by yourself, that's literally just living, doing errands. You're doing adult stuff. Doing stuff without the kids, like errands, is not self-care. Go thrift store shopping if that's what you like to do. Go sit at a park bench. Go take on like a nature walk out in one of your favorite hikes or mountains or parks or whatever. Go sit at a coffee shop for a while, maybe outside because COVID, but whatever. Does that make sense? Read a book, start to finish. Drink a glass of wine with nobody. Go outside. Just do something that you really like to do. Paint something. Write something down. Whatever it is that invigorates and helps you out, that is not connected to errands and is not connected to hygiene stuff. Does that make sense? So we're making it a little bit harder. I'm challenging you to find something that you really, really like, you really, really enjoy, and do it for an hour. Dedicate 1 hour to yourself. Go to the gym. If that's what you need to do, go to the gym. Whatever it is. Go streaking. No, I'm just kidding. You get arrested. Don't do that. But do something. Do something that you like to do. Even go sit somewhere and watch makeup tutorial videos on Facebook if that's what makes you happy. Or on YouTube or whatever. Watch a Netflix show. Do something that's for you, specifically for you, and not with someone else either. You can do that too. Make sure you do it by yourself so that you have time by yourself, especially if you are a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home parent or somebody who works from the house or somebody who just tends to have a lot of people on or around them. Let me know how it goes. Comment below, right? And I'll see you later.